All right, you move on. Network hardware replacement update.
All right, so the next piece I guess I had sent to you guys is looking at,
Just a second, thank you, by the way, Principal.
Thank you.
Thank you for your input and your time.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you. Good night.
All right.
start with the servers. Last time you had asked me to, could you please provide us with a couple of different options? So the first one was to, as if we were going to replace and put in 3 new servers. The second option was looking at just replacing 2 servers. So again, the reason I'm bringing this up, 2 of the servers are expired as far as maintenance, etc. They're purchased in 2007. The other 2 are expiring in May of 2014. So my main concern is the performance of these older servers and getting something newer in place to keep us going and moving along. So, and you have to keep in mind, I'm looking at putting these in place for 6-7 years as well. So
How many servers, physical servers do you have?
currently I have 4. Yeah.
Okay, so wouldn't it be a good idea to replace servers every 2 years, one at a time? Just constantly rolling?
I agree with you, Dan. These are, again, we talked about it last time, is we were talking about the Intel processors versus the AMD processors, and the only thing with that is, again, if the way it's set right now, I could have any one of my physical servers fail, and all of those would migrate to another server with no problem. If we went with the 2 at a time, again, I would just split that workload. Half of my virtuals would go into 2 of the physical. The other half would go into the other 2 physical. You wouldn't have crossover. You wouldn't have full redundancy across. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
You'd only
you just
be
have
redundant on pairs, right?
You're going to rate each individual pair.
Right.
So you want to swap every 4 years, you want to swap 2.
That would be, right, then we would get everything in the same hardware that way, for sure.
Okay. And the SAN?
And the SAN, so again, I provided you with 4 different proposals. Just briefly go through those. The first one, as well, first and the second, are some of the things that Harlan was kind of saying. Again, we're looking at something long-term. They have what's called advanced tiering. So should your needs change in your organization because you've been put in place something that requires more processing, faster hard drives, these SANs have built-in intelligence. The first one, second one, and the 4th one have built-in intelligence to migrate data as needed and utilize the hardware more proficient. The 3rd SAN would be improving, going to a newer version of what we currently have today, and that's what they just call a dense storage unit. Should you not need that provisioning, should you not need servers to migrate and use data more efficiently, then that would be that 3rd option you would be looking at. One note on number 4, though, that is a recertified, reconditioned product as well. So just wanted to give a wide range of options for you guys to take a look at.
Okay, so you're in the budget this year for the servers in the SAN or no? That's what I thought. Okay. So my question is then, should we not replace the 2 servers right off the bat?
And just wait on that, you mean? Wait, just do the SAN and then we could keep them, keeping up with that. Chris was in the office the other day and these virtual machines are migrating more and more. We added a new security server, which obviously it's a virtual server, taking a lot of the cameras are recording constantly, so that's really putting a lot of overhead. If we can, it would be nice to replace both at the same time from a project management
Should that be a
piece.
separate hardware server completely?
What I would do, honestly, then, is it should be replaced them. I would take my newest server and dedicate that guy, which is very powerful, to just the cameras.
Yeah, I was more interested in the separate network storage, the security system.
It does, but it still needs a server to run the intelligence behind it. It does have a separate storage.
I guess my question is bandwidth on that, so if we're sucking up a lot of time and energy on our servers for the low priority on data movement, would we have a separate data storage and a separate server running security system?
And that's what, if we replaced all 3 servers, I would migrate that virtual machine to that physical, the newest physical machine that we have, and dedicate that just for security.
Okay.
It already has a separate storage.
All right. Yeah, 'cause I hate to see it going through the SAN system by
Yeah,
itself.
yeah, it's by itself on storage.
Okay, so we're not needing that thing all the time. All right. Yeah, well,
How do you feel about refurbishing?
Being that this is, this is the hub of our whole organization, I am a little concerned with it. I had to look at it just for a cost savings perspective, so that would not be my first choice.
Bill, is it a new model refurbished?
It's at least 2 years old, to be honest.
I mean, obviously, a new model refurbished, because there was some issue originally, and they repaired the board, you're good to go. I don't have a problem with that, but cover the warranty. All right, so what are you looking for?
Just approval, push it up to the board for approval because of the price tag.
Well, I'm definitely in approval of the servers, I'm not necessarily in approval of the SAN at this point. Here my question is this back to Heartland over here, are we overutilizing in-house storage? If we're not utilizing it correctly, meaning I've been talking a while about having the teachers accessing HTML in-house locally and not everybody going to the web and creating a bottleneck. And I don't know that we're actually utilizing that. For example, if the whole class is looking at the same video or something, but everybody's going to the web to look at that video, every one of those IPs is going back on the web and saying, give me your video, and all at once we have 20 in-feed streams coming in with the same video source. Whereas if it was on our server, it goes directly to them and has a heck of a lot less usage on the internet. So I don't know that we're utilizing that correctly at this point.
No, you're right. Again, the problem is there's so many resources out there online, whether it's YouTube or whether that are readily available.
Right.
That's where they're going.
But if we were creating a Moodle to take care of it, I would think we'd be able to justify saying, we're going to be using this Moodle over here, it has this video source, we're going to use that video clip, can we put that on our server in a main spot and say, let's access it from our server? The throughput should be a heck of a lot faster.
It would definitely minimize overhead on the web, for sure. I'll just have to look at copyright.
So I guess I'd like to see more justification of what the SAN is going to be in the future, and storage, because some things maybe they need to be on a cloud because we don't even utilize them for once in a while.
And realize though also it's not just for the storage, the SAN is also being tied to those servers as well. So the servers, we're not using hardly any hard drive space on our physical servers. We're utilizing the SAN to host some of that operating.
We're hosting all the programs on it.
Right.
But the physical operating systems over there are on the server hard drives.
Very minimal. The rest of it is actually right off of the SAN.
Okay, so but your virtuals and everything are all on hard drives and servers.
No, actually the virtuals are on the SAN themselves. Yeah, they are. That's where we're provisioning all of the hard drive is right from the SAN. So it's 2 pieces, the data storage for the users, and then it's data storage for the actual machines.
You think you'd rather put all your virtuals all on the hard drive like local?
But again, with these being so built in with intelligence, the efficiency has increased so much, and we're connected right to it at 10 gig. So.
All right, so I'd say the server right away. Already budgeted for it.
We just had a presentation, which I couldn't read, saying we need to have an integrated solution. And I'm hearing a little bit that you've had some conversations with them. Are they saying that this is the way to go? I think you do a wonderful job, man. I appreciate all the work you do. You go above and beyond. And it's not a question of you working hard. It's not a question of your knowledge. I'm just looking at, are we making a $79,000 investment that a month from now we hear, well, we could have done it this way instead. You know,
Yeah, you know as well as I do. I mean, pie chart with the 75-25 thing, I don't think I would justify that.
Yeah, no,
You have to
I,
have local service to run everything you have.
I don't know that I have any faith in that group that just presented.
Yeah, I've got faith in them.
We're gonna look at this stuff, but boy, it's.
One of the solutions, I mean, one of the four is a solution from Ireland, just on the sand and servers as well, so.
Yeah, so majority there is the storage.
The storage, one of the storage solutions is a proposal from Ireland, so.
And I'm assuming they want to split off some of our hardware, sand, storage to network cloud.
Right.
Yeah.
I imagine one of the products is to sell storage capability. And that's part of how they make their money, you know, and I understand it, and it's an efficient way of doing it. You know, if they can store it and back it up, and we don't have to worry about it, you know, I'm not against that.
No, but then you gotta look at what the cost is. I mean,
But, right, there's always a cost associated with
a
it.
3 terabyte hard drive is real cheap these days versus paying somebody $10 a month online backup, you know. Store your stuff, take it offsite. So my question is going to be, the servers are not going to change, and we've got a 7-year-old running server. I think before we have an issue with it, let's swap all the servers. We should be on replacement cycle.
Is that your suggestion, Ken? Servers are the number one?
Actually, over the summer, I had reached out to Chris and I said, oh, the sand was there were some issues going on with the sand, and since then, it has stabilized. We made the corrections. The servers are expired. 2 of them are expired. I would like to see that first. But if we look at how we're going to migrate, or from a project perspective, it'd be ideal to do it both at once, just from migration purposes, but I understand the budgetary concerns as well.
That's a big at once. That's a,
So the servers are $32,000 cost?
For 3 of them, yes, it'd be $32,000 and 190.
And I put 40,000 in for the servers, and I put money in for the sand. So I guess to move this along, we've been talking about this for several months. He's told us it's an issue. It's in the budget that you approved tonight. I guess I'm looking for you to forward it up to the board for action.
well, it's a big migration. If you're going to take down the entire sand, at the same time you're taking down the servers, this is a summertime job.
Actually, I built, if you see in there is a rack unit, etc., so that we can have them in parallel, so we can start migrating data. We can even, so that everything else is still running and we just start migrating data.
To the new one while you're still running.
Right. Yeah.
What would you do with the old one then? Still keep it as backup?
Exactly, that's what I would use this mobile storage, probably put it over at Woodfield and utilize that for definitely backup. Why not? I mean, it's, you know,
Say like
it's
that.
performance-wise, no, but for backups, definitely, so.
So which of the proposals are you suggesting? 1, 2?
For the sand, sand proposal number 1 is what I would suggest, and for the servers, it would be ideal to replace all 3 at once, and we'd get rid of the AMD versus Intel and everything else.
Your number crunching, Nicole?
Just pulled it up. I was just pointing out.
Oh, the total dollar amount of both, the servers, triple, and the sand, Chris?
Servers 60, I'm sure servers 30,
Servers 30.
sand 60.
Yeah, it's 90. Understand, he had given me a higher number for the sand in and of itself, so it's coming lower than.
I was gonna say, that seems awful expensive for the sand. Network storage is dumping in price. I'm just not quite sure how that's getting so expensive.
It's that added software that has the increased intelligence built in, all of that. That's where it increases, along with solid state drives are in there as well for that
It's all
increased performance.
performance.
Again, we're building out for the future as well. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Sheds a little light.
So you're looking at 90K.
Okay.
Life expectancy on the new sands?
Honestly, 8 years is what we're looking at for those.
Yeah, I'm not so certain that 8 years is gonna be, I think you can go a lot longer than the sand. You're already longer than this thing, aren't we?
'07 is when this one was in, I believe, yeah. But we've had to upgrade it throughout, added shelves, upgraded intelligence on that one. '06, '07. It was there before I took over, to be honest, so.
All right. Well, it's already budgeted. I don't have an issue if this is what you're requiring. The problem I have is, suppose we find out we don't need this big behemoth of the sand and we want to switch to some plowing. You know? I kind of agree with Paul, you're kind of preempting the entire Heartland conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
Well, do we decide that we've made a decision, we don't need Heartland, or is there something that they bring to the table yet?
I think, I mean, are we in an urgency to replace any of these right now?
The timeline that Heartland gave us this afternoon is that their implementation plan was 5 years. Okay? And that very last slide that they had up there, we didn't see that this afternoon as far as their whole itemized charge recommendations.
Thank you, I had my son off, I was kind of like going, Paul thought I was
So
being kind of friendly with him.
I'm sorry.
No,
It seems like a long drawn out process.
it does, and they said there are some clients that really compact it and get it done within 2 years.
I like
But the thing that none of us know yet is the dollar amount that's attached to.
That's it, I like what the proposal is, our proposal, and what it's gonna cost us.
Right.
Other than that, it's all hypotheticals right now, and great words like synergy and all that good stuff.
75%, that's,
So with that in mind, are we jumping ahead on anything? Or do you, I mean, any way we go, we're in service.
that's what I was gonna say, we have a problem now that's, we're looking at 3 or 4 years down the line when they start implementing what they want or giving us what we should be doing.
Yeah, well, first I see the proposal, we want to do something with it. So, I don't have a problem with replacing all this at one time, I just want to make sure that you're not going to come back in 6 months with Heartland and say, oh, by the way, we really need that, and now we're going to push it to cloud service right now for all this stuff.
Sure. I don't foresee doing that, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither, I mean, how much storage you're buying, I don't foresee it. Okay. Any questions, Paul?
No?
Anybody else? Okay, Bob?
I'd like to go back to Heartland. What's the next step? They're going to send us this in print.
They're going to send something in print, and I think he was going to define what exactly their proposal is going to be. So we can utilize that to make a determination if we need a partnership with Heartland, whether or not. Which is what I originally told Ken, and the reason I don't want to get involved with the discussion ahead of time was I need to hear something unbiased, because I want to hear what they think and listen to what they're saying. So I want to hear from them now and what their firm, concrete course of action will be before we can move further.
No, I think we've talked about this for a long time.
Okay. In that case, should we therefore push this forward to the board? Paul?
Sure.
Okay. Replacement of the network servers, 3 in total, to get rid of the AMD processors, correct?
Yes.
And a network storage area network system, a SAN system, to replace the existing one, which will be pushed over to Woodfield to utilize as our backup utility.
Yes.
And I would assume then you have 2 servers over there with a rack with a SAN?
We'd actually just tie it right into this
Oh,
network.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're good,
Yeah.
no servers over there, just a...
Yeah, just the storage unit over there. We'll tie it in, yeah.
Okay. And that would take care of what we need as far as safety backup. And not to exceed, currently we have, what, a 90, but you're not even anticipating that, correct? Actually, it was 40 and 30, 70, about numbers.
I think we should stick with the 90 number, because that came in more than what I thought it would be.
Okay.
I was projecting 110, so.
Okay, I'd like to see the SAN system down further, but I mean, what it is, what it is. It sounds like a sizable price tag on a network storage unit, which are going down fast as you can look at them, so. Anyways, in the case of that, it would be 90 as the max price tag on it. You okay with that, Paul?
Yes.
Okay, move that to the board for a vote. Any more for tech committee?
No, that's it.
Only thing I've got is I agree with Paul, we discussed when we originally did the one-to-one system, that we were going to have a review process, and we need to have that review process. So we set a 2-year date when we originally did that. That would bring us into, I believe, January, February of this coming up year here. I'm wondering if we can put something together for that, Chris. Work with Darlene and all that good stuff and show us how we're helping the children of the world. All right, anything else, anybody?